Hey, what is up, phone dogs? BoHD here, and over the past 12 months, we have highlighted 10 of our favorite iOS apps released and or updated during each month of 2018. That means we have narrowed down a total of 120 apps over the year. So with 2019 right around the corner, we thought we'd include all of those apps in one big video with links in the description to check them out. Now, absolutely none of these apps are sponsored, and they were all handpicked by yours truly. So without further ado, let's get started. The first app is called Mirror Emoji Keyboard, and it's one of the newest third-party keyboard apps on the market. It's unique in that it will generate your own personal emoji from a selfie. There are more than 200 emoji that it can generate for you, which you can share with your friends in various messaging apps. It's a lot like Bitmoji in Snapchat. If you like what you see, I highly recommend this keyboard. Selfissimo is an experimental app from Google that's really simple, but actually surprisingly functional. You strike a pose and the camera will automatically snap a picture. You don't have to press anything at all. It just automatically knows when you strike a new pose. After you snap a few photos, you can then share the images or the entire shoot. Fernflower is a beautiful new adventure game. It's a self-described atmospheric and compelling game where you climb mystic mountains in search of those esoteric flowers. The gameplay consists of you touching the left or right hand part of the screen to make your character jump. The goal is to climb as high as you can and collect fireflies to improve your score. SnapCalc is a really cool calculator app that requires your smartphone's camera. So this isn't really a new concept, but it's one of the newer calculator apps to employ this concept. All you have to do is snap a picture of a math problem and the app will display the answer on your screen. Now, it performs algebra and calculus and can even recognize handwritten problems, and I especially enjoy the step-by-step explanations so that you can actually learn the material and not have to use this app to cheat on your homework. Now, I was hesitant to include this next app on the list because we are all familiar with Google search, but the app is called UDictionary, and as the name implies, it's a dictionary app. The app does a lot more than just define things. The app supports 38 different languages. It features pronunciation, sample sentences, English conversion practice, and there's even a writing club where you can talk about themes to develop your writing skills. As an editor, it appeals to me probably more than the average Joe, but overall, it's a well-developed and useful app to have. Tiles Squared is a memory game that requires you to tap a series of tiles. When you first start the game, it's easy, requiring you to remember only 1 or 2 tiles in a row, but the further you progress, the more tiles you have to remember. As someone who feels like my memory is slipping because I'm so reliant on the internet, I found this app useful in exercising my noggin. Scrubbies is another experimental app by Google that's simple but actually useful. It lets you easily manipulate the speed and direction of video playback to produce some pretty stunning video loops. The app is more impressive if your video is something particularly interesting, like a water balloon being popped, but it's a lot of fun to play around with. Time2 Beat Procrastination is a must-have app for those of you who are dealing with procrastination, which is almost all of us on some level. Here's how the app works. You add a task and an amount of time you want to spend on it. Your job is to beat the clock and get your tasks done before the timer runs out. It's really that simple. If you get distracted though, you risk the timer running out and going into overtime. Obviously, you don't want that to happen, and obviously this app is gonna still require some willpower and self-discipline. You can't just install it and expect to be productive. But it does have a lot of useful features and it is well developed. Pixel Art Camera does just what the name implies. It will turn any photo of yours into pixel art. There are over 25 pixel art styles and over 10 different creative effects to apply to your photos. I especially love what this app does with portrait photos and city landscape shots. This is another app that's just so much fun to play around with. Seems like that's kind of the theme of this video. Now, the last app on the list is a beautiful puzzle game called Way Out, and here is how it works. You tap on a tile to switch its state, and your move affects adjacent tiles while diagonal tiles are not affected. The goal is simple. It's just to turn all the tiles into a white state. There are no time limits or turn limits, so it's very relaxing in that sense, but as you progress, you'll end up spending a lot more time on each puzzle, therefore creating a bit of a challenge. The first app on our list may be good to have, especially now that net neutrality rules are in the process of being repealed. WeHe is a research app that tells you if your carrier is violating net neutrality and how much they are slowing down or speeding up specific apps. By running the tests via this app, you will be able to help create a public database of carrier behavior worldwide. This app doesn't always work right, but when it does, it can display some very important information and help a good cause. Calzi 3 is one of the newest and smartest calculator apps on the App Store. The app has been completely redesigned from the ground up, offering a new memory area that will let you store multiple numerical calculating sessions with a simple drag and drop interaction. The app supports 3D touch. You can view your history and bookmarks. There's also support for multitasking if you're using it with an iPad, and even a today widget is available. It does cost a couple of bucks, but if you're in need of a powerful calculator app, maybe you're coming from the previous version, I highly recommend Calzi 3. Glitch Dash is an incredibly cool and addicting game. You might have seen the promos for this game scrolling through Instagram. You have to run and dodge your way past hammers, axes, geometric obstacles, and lasers as they approach you in 3D space. The animations are incredibly fluid, though the more powerful your iOS device is, the better the gameplay will be. Overall, I love this game. Thunderly is certainly a niche app, but even as someone who's not a meteorologist, I found this app really neat. The app displays a photorealistic globe where you can see real-time lightning strikes all around the world. Besides accurate day and night cycles, the globe contains real-time clouds, precipitation, and a lightning history layer for the last hour. For an app with such a niche following, it's incredibly well designed. Doctors Report Illness Tracker is probably not recommended for those of you with hypochondria. What it does is provide the severity from doctors' diagnoses of 15 illnesses in your immediate area by zip code or county. It will tell you what illness, such as like the flu or bronchitis, is prevalent in your area and provide tips to prevent getting such an illness. I think this is a good app to have, especially since this flu season has been particularly bad. Make 10 is a numbers game. While it appears simple at first glance, it can get pretty challenging. You get points by dragging dice onto the board and getting a total of 10 in a row or a column. The levels are endless, so you can play this game pretty much forever. There's some smooth sound effects, and it's compatible with the iPhone X. If you like Sudoku or other puzzle games, you should really enjoy Make 10. Sony has recently brought its Sketch app over to the App Store. If you're an artist, you should check this app out as it features brushes, layers, a zoom feature to draw detailed sketches, a community of millions of users, and support for the Apple Pencil. Best of all, it's completely free. I think it offers a ton of features for the price. Moleskine Actions is one of the most powerful productivity apps to hit the App Store. It's free to trial, but it does cost a couple of bucks per month, so do keep that in mind. You can use these things called action cards to remind you of things that you don't want to forget, and you can use natural language for such actions by telling the app, for example, water the plants every Saturday. It will then remind you to water the plants every single Saturday. What's also cool is you can use Siri to manage your actions as well. There are so many neat features in this app that I'd probably have to spend an entire video detailing all of them. Once again, the only downside and the reason it has a low number of stars is because of the subscription model. Moobert is an app that plays AI-generated music to help you focus on work and study. Their algorithm generates a seamless stream of unique music in real time. All you have to do is just select what you plan on doing: study, work, or create. The last app we have for you today is called Jump Jam, and it's a fun and engaging game. All you have to do is hold down your finger on the display to move your character forward while he automatically jumps from platform to platform. The goal is to reach the end without hitting any obstacles. There are over 80 levels and tons of characters to unlock. You also are challenged to achieve all 3 stars in each level, kind of similar to Angry Birds. If you like what you see, you should check out Jump Jam. 2 of the first apps are monolithic new mobile games. First, we have Fortnite, which was recently ported over to mobile devices after launching on the PC and consoles. Basically, if you're new to Fortnite, your goal is to kill everyone on the island that you parachute down to and become the last one standing. You pick up weapons and power-ups, which helps keep the game fresh. Chances are you've played this game, at least on a console.
The mobile version is extremely similar. The second big game we have is called PUBG Mobile, and it was also recently launched on the App Store. It's very similar to Fortnite. You have to eliminate everyone else on the island with weapons and power-ups that you acquire on the island. It's basically a less cartoonish version of Fortnite. Sodes is a, quote, casual, cozy podcast player. There are no download queues or tricked out audio features. All you have to do is tap a show, tap an episode, and listen. The layout is very clean, and it's what really drew me into this app, and it's simple with a big search bar up top. You can't miss it. The biggest con is its $3 price, so you have to determine if it's worth it for you if you listen to a lot of podcasts. Focus is an app that brings DSLR-like photography to your dual-camera iPhone. It will simulate those milky bokeh effects that are usually only achievable with professional large aperture cameras. With Focus, you can make unlimited changes to your photos, you can focus after the fact, and change the aperture repeatedly. The recent update improves the design of the app and enhances the adjustments. RoboKiller is an app I wanted to include on the list because it has helped me reduce the number of spam calls that I receive. It uses, quote, patented FTC award-winning technology to automatically block spam calls, and it has caller ID to help you see who's actually calling you. The service is free to try, but it does cost around $3 per month. There's not much to show here besides the fact that it just works. And no, this isn't a sponsor. Paste 2 is a damn cool productivity app that stores everything you have copied and allows you to use your clipboard history anytime you need it across all of your devices. Now, Apple has added this feature in some of the latest versions of iOS and macOS, but I have yet to update to the latest version on my workstation, so this app has helped me get this feature without updating. The Mac app does cost a pretty penny though, it's $15, so you gotta determine if that's worth it. Resize 2 times is a beautifully simple photo app that does one thing well. It increases the resolution of your images by 2 times without pixelization or blurriness, noise, glitches, or artifacts, and in my testing it does take some time to resize the images, but it does work well and it does a much better job than if I were to just resize the image myself. Frogopedia uses augmented reality to help you explore and discover the unique life cycle and intricate anatomical details of a frog. It uses Apple's new AR kit, and it does a great job with tracking the frog on your physical environment. It's also just a neat way to learn about the life cycle and anatomy of a frog. Unfold Story Creator offers a ton of modern-looking templates to house your photos and help create or tell a story. You can create multiple pages, you can add text and images, and then export them to share to Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. The last app we have for you today is a fun game called Kingpin Bowling. It's an endless arcade game where your goal is to hit as many of the pins as you can, all while avoiding hot dogs, gargantuan soda pops, oversized clipboards, massive pencils, and so on. This app is free and it's fun. I highly recommend it.
First, we have Burst for Reddit. This app offers a completely new way to browse Reddit posts. Reposts are merged into cards, so you can follow the comments through different threads in different subreddits. The app also uses 3D touch to allow you to quickly upvote a post just by, hard pressing on the card. Overall, the layout is very modern as navigation is swipe-based and the UI is extremely minimal. If you're looking for a fresh new way to browse Reddit, you should check out Burst for Reddit. 321 Launch is a pretty darn cool augmented reality app. There are 2 ways to use this app. You can launch a simulation that will guide you through an interactive rocket assembly, readying the launch pad and blasting off towards the exosphere before separation and re-entry. Also, during a live rocket launch in the world on planet Earth, you can watch an AR rocket lift off from any flat surface as an animated hologram shows you what the actual rocket is doing in real time. I don't know, I think it's just really neat and it shows the potential AR has to offer. MMX Hill Dash 2 has been recently launched, providing a fun new truck racing experience. This game offers a host of racing tracks with various hazards, hill climbs, jumps, loops, bridges, and ramps. There are some upgrades you can acquire, all while you try to climb to the top of the leaderboards. So I wanted to include the app TubeBuddy on the list for all of the fellow YouTube content creators out there. The app is based off the popular browser extension and offers a ton of features like a live subscriber count, keyword search, suggested tags, comment moderation, channel milestones, video management and optimization features, SEO or search engine optimization statistics, and more. TubeBuddy it's a very powerful, data-rich app that could really help you better grow your channel. Speaking of video creation, Auto Video is a neat app that doesn't work great right now, but it does go to show what the future holds, and that is AI-generated videos. The app will use artificial intelligence to try and turn text into videos. So basically you enter a few lines about what you want to see turned into a video, and the app will create the video for you with sound, text and images, and short video clips. I could see social media brands using apps like this to quickly generate short auto-playing videos about select topics, and I'm not really sure how I feel about that. Retro Highway is the other racing game on the list, but it's quite a bit different than the other game in that it's retro themed. Sometimes I like to sit down and just start playing a simple game that doesn't go overboard with the graphics. This is that game. You can perform stunts, you can collect coins, gain power-ups, and unlock new bikes and stages. Now, if you follow me on Instagram at BoHD, #shameless plug, you will know that I like to hike and go outdoors when I'm not indoors reviewing tech. I recently discovered this new app called Karen and have used it to scout out some different trails around my state. The main function of this app is to alert your friends and family of your trip plans so that if anything goes wrong, someone will know about it and help will be on their way. What I also like though are some of the other features, like the ability to see where others have found cell coverage along a particular hike. You can also view trail stats like distance, elevation gain, and hiking routes. The app is free to trial for 60 days, but it will require a subscription afterwards. I highly recommend Karen and All Trails for your outdoor adventures. AlloBud is an all-in-one self-care pocket companion. It gently brings awareness to self-care activities using encouraging push notifications rather than guilt or shame. For example, it'll remind you to take a moment and breathe deeply, drink some water, refuel, move, etc. The UI is extremely simple and functional. I really like the 8-bit retro theme and icons. If you're looking to better yourself as a human being, you should give AlloBud a look. Atlas Wallpaper helps you create wallpapers of maps from anywhere in the world. You can search for any city in the world, position the map, and hit save. There's also the ability to change the color of the streets and waterways to kind of spice up the look and feel of your wallpaper. The concept is just really neat. I love the results that are produced here. The last app we have for you today is called SuperType. It's a puzzle game where you type out various words or letters and have them fall on your target. As you type and progress in the game, you'll start to get a feel for how a P falls or how much an R weighs, and so on. I just gotta commend the developers for thinking outside of the box and designing such an original puzzle game. The first app on the list is called Cappuccino, and it shows a ton of potential. It's a brand new app. The app lets you create your own newsletter consisting of your favorite news sources. You get to pick the sources, and it will deliver the newsletter to you via email every single day, or even hourly, depending on what you want. The UI could be improved and it can be buggy since it is a new app, but overall, I love the all-in-one approach this app is going for. Unsplash is a must-have app for content creators. It offers an online database of images that can be freely used for anything. There are no watermarks, the images are of high quality, and there are no copyright restrictions. There are over 450,000 free high-res photos that you can use for a term paper, a blog post, presentation, you name it. Horizon is one of the latest catch-up games to hit the App Store. It has absolutely exploded in popularity thanks largely due to the simple gameplay and neat visuals. All you have to do is avoid obstacles while you maneuver through the unpredictable world of Horizon. Make barrel rolls, collect gems, and travel as far as you can. There are 100 different challenges and 40 different ships to collect. I've had a lot of fun playing this game. Elokey is one of the newest real-time object translation apps to hit the App Store, and it works surprisingly well. In addition to the real-time object translation feature, there's a multi-language translator capable of easily converting any object detected from a source language to a target language. That could be from English to Spanish, for example. We even have a mini text translator, so if you're in the need of an all-in-one translation app, this may be the perfect one for you. Keep in mind, it only costs $3 for a limited time. Travel Ear is a super unique app. It will give your ears a vacation. You can go to a variety of destinations and environments with a pair of headphones and the click of a button. You can experience the hustle and bustle of London's famous flower market, or even take a trip down to New Orleans' jazz-filled streets. If you're an audio enthusiast, you should check out Travel Ear. Pocket Run Pool is an arcade pool game with a twist. The goal in this game is to sink all of the balls, but where and when you sink them matters most. Each pocketed ball awards points for the ball number times the pocket multiplier, and sometimes the pockets and their multipliers will switch around. I just really like this game because it brings me back to the good classic mobile games from the days before smartphones. Getty Unshuttered is a great photo community for teens that's free and ad-free. It features many different tips and tricks to improve your photography skills. The reason it's called Getty Unshuttered is because the lessons are built by photo educators from the Getty Museum in Los Angeles. If you like what you see, check out this app and learn you something new. WeatherKit is one of the newest weather apps to hit the App Store. So this app does it all. It alerts you of the current weather as well as when it's going to rain before it actually starts raining. And it does so in an elegant, clean layout that can be navigated via a series of swipes. Some of the features include a 5-day forecast, an air quality index, a weather widget, and support for Celsius and Fahrenheit. You can even get more features with the Pro version of the app if you want. Logic Path is a dazzling new puzzle game. The app is a calm, colorful, relaxing puzzle game that aims to change your perception of the world around you. There are 100 different levels to play through, and they can all be completed with one finger. I love the colors and simplicity of this application. It's truly one of a kind. The last app we have for you today is called Sweat Deck, a fun and versatile workout using a deck of cards. So here's how it works. You assign an exercise to each suit and perform each card as it is drawn. You can then add joker cards as bonus exercises that pop up randomly. If you're like me, you need every possible incentive to go and work out. So if you think this card game would get you to work out more, then you should absolutely give it a try. First, we have an app called Agenda. It's a self-proclaimed new take on notes that focuses on the date of the note. With its unique timeline, Agenda gives you a complete picture of past, present, and future, driving your projects forward. There are tags, there are lists, and links that you can use in your notes. You can even connect your notes to events in your calendar and search for your notes. There's a million note applications on the iOS App Store, but this one is one of the best I've seen in a while. Bloons Tower Defense 6 is the latest in the series. What's different about this game is that it features new 3D towers, animations, and upgraded skins to make the game more aesthetically pleasing. There are 20 new maps, some of which have 3D objects that can block the line of sight to make the game more difficult. Of course, there are new upgrades and new monkeys that you can use to do damage on various balloons. Overall, it's one of my favorite tower defense games right now. I grew up with Bloons Tower Defense, so I get really nostalgic playing this new installment. Bottled Message in a Bottle is a neat social media application that digitizes the act of putting a message in a bottle and throwing it into the sea. The app lets you send a message to anyone, anywhere in the world. However, your messages will be received by one individual, unique person. Depending on the content of your bottled message, the recipients can decide whether or not to keep it or pass it along. If your bottled message is kept, you will be able to chat with the other person. If it's released, your bottle will float back into the sea to be received by another random stranger. Camera Plus 2 is the new version of one of the most popular third-party camera apps on the market, Camera Plus. It's nearly identical to the original, but the developers insist that it's better and faster, and it's likely going to be the app that receives the most updates. Some of the features include manual controls, raw capture and editing, shooting modes such as the ability to detect smiles and shoot for you, or stabilizer mode that will shoot photos only when your iPhone is steady enough to produce a sharp picture. If you've never used Camera Plus, you may want to take the jump and download Camera Plus 2. Ultra Sharp is a beautifully simple game. Your finger is a knife, and your goal is to cut the shapes to reach the star. It starts off super easy, but gets progressively more difficult as time goes on. If you're just looking for a casual but addicting game that plays in portrait mode, you should download Ultra Sharp. Kindly features one of the best ingredient databases I've ever seen. It lets you easily know more about the ingredients on the food or cosmetic products you want to buy by scanning the ingredient labels or just by searching for a product. The ingredients are displayed in a simple, easy to read list with labels that describe its origin. Most people these days have food allergies, so this app is for you. Suzhou is a news source made for those living in the information era. That's everyone. Everyone is stuck in their own information bubble, and Suzhou wants to fix that. They claim to deliver you news from fact-checked sources together with other anonymous subscriber opinions and influencer comments. I'm a news junkie, so I always get at least a little excited when I see a new news app to investigate. I will say this app has a lot of potential. Dragon Ball Legends launched at the very end of May, but I didn't get around to playing it until June. This game features 3D stages with character voicing. The game is built around cards, but the cards simulate action battles between real people around the world. I used to be an avid fan of Dragon Ball Z. I would go home from school and watch the latest episode. So this game is super nostalgic. It's a blast to play, no pun intended. Amazon Free Time has made its way to iOS. It's an all-in-one subscription for kids that offers unlimited access to over 10,000 kids' books, movies, and TV shows for children ages 3 to 12. Now, this is not a sponsor. I'm just gonna throw that out there. The ability to stream all this content just makes me wish I were a kid again so I can binge watch all day, every day, and probably upset my parents. The last app we have for you today is called Gemini Photos, and it's a neat app that manages the photos in your library. In a matter of seconds, you can delete all of the unnecessary photos taking up precious storage. You know when you take a photo of someone and you end up taking like 5 shots in case someone blinks or moves or the photo is blurry? Well, this app gets rid of all those extra photos you capture. There are some other features like the ability to delete all of your photos with one tap if that's something you want to do. Instagram TV, aka IGTV, rolled out to users in late June to early July, and it just missed being included in last month's episode. The app is shaping up to be YouTube's biggest competitor as it's entirely video-based, and it lets users produce videos up to 60 minutes long. Now, there are some big differences when compared to YouTube. First of all, it's linked to Instagram, so you'll see the two apps tied together. Also, videos feature a vertical 9:6 aspect ratio that will let you watch videos in portrait mode, or vertical mode, however you want to describe it. Basically, you won't have to rotate your phone sideways to watch a video. It's hard to say how this service will shape up, but we do have plans to start producing content for our Phone Dog IGTV channel, so please go follow us and you'll see when the first video is released. StoryZ Photo Motion is a powerful photo editor that allows you to animate your photos by blending them together with videos. There's actually a lot you can do here. You can make your pictures move by adding animated visuals using the featured motion effects, or you can blend still images with videos to get additional animated effects. With most things in life, the more time you spend doing it, the better you will become. The same is true about this app. The more time you spend fine-tuning the animations, the better the results will be. Manga Library Comics Reader is a must-have for manga fans. Now, for those who might not know what manga is, manga are comics created in Japan or by creators in the Japanese language, conforming to a style developed in Japan in the late 19th century. What's cool about this app is that it features most of the popular mangas out there. You can create your own library. It even gives you the option to choose your own servers where the mangas are hosted. The caveat is that it does cost $1 for a year subscription, but it does come with a month trial, so that's kind of neat. You can test it out. Asphalt 9 is one of the newest racing games to hit the App Store. This version features a top roster of real hypercars from Ferrari, Porsche, and Lamborghini. There are all new locations and features to customize the color and material of your car. I've always just enjoyed Asphalt games because they tend to test the barriers of CPU and GPU performance of a smartphone. They also are just super fun to play. It's hard to go wrong with this game. Now, if you're a news junkie, you will love Very Dark Browser. The browser automatically gives all websites a dark mode. It blocks ads and trackers, and it features some neat controls at the bottom of the screen so that you can scroll comfortably with your thumb. It even features a dark keyboard. The key feature is, of course, the dark mode, as it'll make consumption of content much easier on the eyes. Yoga for Beginners teaches you a plethora of yoga poses to help you de-stress, relax, and just feel good. Now, what makes this app so special is that it uses video tutorials to teach you these poses. I don't know about you, but I'm a visual learner. I need a picture of whatever it is I'm studying, so this app is right up my alley. There's a bunch of different poses and exercises in a variety of difficulties. The thing about yoga is that you can make it as strenuous as you want. Finding what feels good is important. Super Starfish is a visually stunning and addicting game where you play as an interstellar starfish and swim through the cosmos. Your goal is to advance as far as possible by dodging meteors, black holes, and quasars. What I like about this game is its simplicity. You can pick it up and just start playing without needing to be too heavily invested in the game. I also just love the graphics. The visual effects are stunning and they keep me coming back for more. Infinite Spanish is an education app that aims to teach you Spanish through mini games. The game is catered to the youth, kids ages 4 and up, but it's a fun way for really anyone to learn hundreds of different Spanish words. Widget Calendar is and does exactly what the name implies. It displays the full calendar in widget form, just 1 or 2 swipes away. The widget supports reminders, events, smooth transitions, and even themes. Business users will especially appreciate having a calendar 1 swipe away in the notification center. The last app we have for you today is called Run Around, and it's the #1 action game right now. You play as a stick figure and run around a circle and jump over obstacles. Once you do those things and complete the circle, you advance to the next level where it gets even more difficult. The neat sound effects, the music, and the colors really help round out this game. The first app we have is called Animatix, and it's a powerful new photo editing app that transforms your static photos into animated photos and cartoons. You can add motion effects to make certain areas of your photos come to life. There's 24 animation styles to choose from and a bunch of cartoony effects. The results obviously will vary based on the quality of the source photo, but you can get some pretty neat results that you can then share with your social networks. Karma is a charity app that caters local nonprofits and charities to you via this simple application. You can see what's happening in your area, and you can see others who have made donations to various charities in a similar layout as Venmo. I just wanted to include this app on the list to help you see what charities and nonprofits are in your area. If you're feeling like giving, you might want to consider donating some of your time or money. One of my all-time favorite games, Bloons Tower Defense, has partnered with one of my all-time favorite TV shows, Adventure Time, on a game called Bloons Adventure Time Tower Defense. It's a pretty sweet crossover as you can play as an Adventure Time character like Finn, Jake, Princess Bubblegum, and Marceline, and you can play on a ton of different maps in the land of Ooh. You add in the fact that there's over 200 weapons and items to choose from, each with their own power-ups, and you've got yourself a game that should keep you entertained for hours on end. Evo Flow Planner is a rather unique daily planner app. What separates it from the others is its personalization. Right off the bat, the app will quiz you to determine your personality type. From there, it will give you a step-by-step on how to improve your ability to tackle day-to-day tasks. This is where the actual productivity portion of the app comes in. You have some fancy visuals with graphs and icons. There are audio guides available and the ability to add friends and teammates. The only major caveat I see with this app is that after the free trial expires, it does cost a few bucks per month to use and take advantage of all the different features. Cinder is like Tinder, but for cleaning the unwanted contacts from your phone. It's really simple. When you boot up the app and give it access to your contacts, you can swipe left and right to scrub unwanted people from your contacts or from your phone. A swipe left will mark the contact for deletion, while a swipe right will keep the contact. Boom, it's that simple. Make Colors is a colorful new color matching game where you get points by dragging the colored blocks onto the board and getting 3 in a row. Sounds simple, right? Well, it is, and that's what makes it so great. The goal is to see how many points you can get before you brick yourself and can't move any more blocks up to the grid. The animations and game controls are flawless. If you like what you see, you should check out Make Colors. Accelerator Speed Reader lets you quickly read articles at superhuman speeds using science. The idea is that when you're only shown one word at a time, you can read and process it much faster than if you're shown a whole page of text. This app will let you quickly convert articles and text into this rapid reading format so you can read and process much faster than you would be able to otherwise. By default, it's set at 300 words per minute, but if that's still too slow, you can crank it up to an eye-blistering 1,000 words per minute. Disclaimer though, the app does have a $3 price. Now, maybe Accelerator was too fast for you and you need a moment to cool down and relax. Mellow Me is the app you'll want to boot up next. The app offers several different methods to help you relax. There are a ton of high-quality relaxing sounds that this app features. For example, there's a break at work category with guitar sounds, piano music, and xylophone sounds. If that's not your cup of tea, you can even listen to fireplace sounds, cat and/or bird sounds. What's also neat is you can cast these sounds out to an external speaker or play them when your phone is locked. Trill Project is a new social network where everyone is anonymous and supposedly safe. Users are reportedly safe because you're assigned a color instead of a username, and there are moderators that will take you down if you post offensive content. But the idea here is that with everyone anonymous, you can share your deepest, unfiltered thoughts. There are communities based around particular interests or tags that you can follow, so you can kind of think of this app or social network as a digital support group. The last app we have is called Rope Heroes, and it's a guilty pleasure of mine that fills my heart up with nostalgia. You know those rope swing flash games where you have to swing your character as fast as you can through some sort of cave system, and if they hit a rock, they explode into pixelated, bloody parts? That's exactly what this game is, but it's a dedicated app for iOS with power-ups and various modes to play around in. The worst thing about this game are the ads, but it does seem like the developers have toned them down a bit since this game was first launched. First, we have a game called Cosmobot that kind of reminds me of Donkey Kong when you have to shoot yourself out of rotating cannons, which resemble barrels in Donkey Kong. You play as Cosmobots, or space robots, and your goal is to journey as far as you can into the expanse of space. How do you do this? Well, you tap on your screen to shoot your Cosmobots higher and higher, collecting coins, energy, and power-ups on the way. The graphics, animations, and gameplay are top-notch. I highly recommend it. Next, we have an app called Scoremaster that helped solve a problem I had very recently. I was with a bunch of friends and we were playing some board games, but we didn't have any scorecards. Well, what this app does is provide you with a digital scorecard. It's very simple, allowing you to quickly and easily add players to your games with different scoring increments. You can easily change these scores of players and view a game log. It's definitely a niche app, but if you play a lot of board games, you may find a lot of value in this app. Topple is a perspective puzzle game that is sure to give your brain a workout. The goal is to move and rotate the puzzle pieces so that they match the target shape. For perfect plays, you'll be rewarded with a star with which you can use to unlock new stages. There are 40 different levels to play, so it should keep you entertained for a while, and the graphics are just beautifully simple. And there's even jazzy music. Indivious is an app that lets you discuss politics with others around the world. Social media sites will typically cater content to you and create a sort of echo chamber where your ideas are only reinforced, further making you more partisan. Indivious tries to counter this by pairing you up with someone with an opposing view so you can discuss both of your sides and try to find some middle ground. Once you pick an issue, you can choose how much you agree or disagree with it. Then you tap on the plus icon in the upper corner and it'll work to pair you up with someone to discuss the topic. The app is really basic, but the developers appear to be actively working to improve it, and there are some very relevant topics you can choose from. Ant Ventor is a fun and funny adventure game with stunningly realistic graphics. Basically, you play as an ant that explores the world around him and the unusual adventures he gets himself into. What drew me into this game was its humor and its macro world full of big spiders and large plants. It's a charming game that's just fun to pick up and pass the time with. Daily Focus is an app that will improve your photography skills with daily tips and tricks. The app offers videos, how-tos, challenges, and more to help you improve your skills. There's a new daily video from photography experts that will help you get inspired. If you're a photographer or videographer looking to improve your skills, you should check out Daily Focus. Decipher is another brain-teasing puzzle game where you need to align the space rings to solve the enigma. While it sounds easy, each ring produces a different effect, and every action produces a different reaction. There's also a little bit of a backstory. Apparently, a spaceship is waiting for you to launch towards a peaceful and original space environment. Your goal is to decipher the mysteries of the universe. Fade It is one of my favorite photo apps for filters, as there's always some new filters and styles to check out and apply to your photos. In fact, every month, new filters and styles are added. There are filters, glitch effects, neon tints, overlays, support badges, and more to add to your photos and make them look even more special. I would like to see more customizations to let you fine-tune the amount of the effect that's added to your photos, as they can be pretty intense, but it's still a fun app to mess around with. Brella is a personal weather app that delivers you personalized weather forecasts on a daily basis. After you select your name, set your personal preference for each temperature range and articles of clothing for each temperature range, the app will deliver you super personal weather news. For example, it might say, "Good afternoon, Bo. Today is a marvelous day to wear your jeans and t-shirt, plus take your jacket. The forecast is cloudy throughout the day." Then it'll provide you with the current temperature and the highs and lows for the day. The initial setup can be a little bit of a pain, but once you get past it, you will have a great personal weather app. The last app we have for you today is called Rise of Civilization, and it's a role-playing strategy game that just hit the App Store. You get to pick your civilization, whether that's Rome, Germany, China, Japan, and so on, and decide who to conquer. It reminds me a lot of the game Civilization, but with more of a cartoony vibe. What I like about it is that it honestly feels like I could spend hours building up my city and fighting barbarians and other empires. Also, the animations and gameplay are all very smooth and fluid. It runs really well. I highly recommend it if you're looking for a fun new role-playing game. The first app we have is called Hawkeye Access, and it uses the true depth cameras on the newer iPhones to track your eye movements and let you browse the web using only your eyes. Yes, it's that freaking cool. Now, it's not a perfect application, and it's probably one of those apps you test out and you never use again, but it shows that someday in the not too distant future, we may be using our eyes to navigate our smartphones. You can set it so that a blink or stare registers as a click, and you can look at different parts of the screen to go back and open up various menus. Zodiac Daily Horoscope is a pretty cool app that provides accurate astrological forecasts based on your zodiac sign. Say what you will about zodiac signs, they're certainly not for everyone, but if you like to read into them, you should check out Zodiac. It's a well-designed app offering daily, weekly, and monthly horoscopes. Aries is supposedly very career motivated, so I like to occasionally read my horoscope to get more motivated. Everyone is different. You might like this app. Shump is an arcade platformer where you play as a pixelated creature whose goal it is to ascend as high as you can and defeat bosses and dodge bullets and bombs. There are a total of 6 levels, 20 enemies, and 14 bosses. It's a new game, but it definitely has an older feel to it. Adobe Premiere Rush CC, or Creative Cloud, made it on the list for all of you multimedia producers out there who want to be able to edit on the go. The app will let you edit audio and video in a similar manner to the desktop application Premiere Pro, which I used to edit this video. I'm not going to spend a ton of time going over the features, but there's quite a bit of them, and the free version does allow 3 exports. Cove is a musical journal where instead of writing down your feelings, you create music to help express them. The app is designed to help you with your emotional and mental health. There are 30 different instruments to play around with simple tap and swipe based controls. You have your bass chords, your melody, and percussion. I think this is a really neat take on the traditional journal app. Now, every now and then, I like to include a game on the list with cartoony graphics and no originality. Today, that game is called Golf Battle, and it's a multiplayer mini golf game where you try and put the golf ball in the hole. I know, crazy, right? This game is somewhat unique in that you can play against real people from around the world, but at the end of the day, it's just mini golf. The reason it's on the list, though, is because it's good fun. There's something satisfying about putting a ball in a hole, and when you can beat other real players, it's all the more fun. Focus is a speed reading app that helps you read and comprehend better. It's believed that when you read one word at a time, you can not only read faster, but comprehend content better too. And this app does just that. You can upload documents to the app to be converted to this speed reading format, or you can navigate to web pages or paste URLs to articles so that they can be converted and read in this format. The app also lets you customize the theme and the speed at which the words are displayed. Check this app out if you're an avid reader, you might just like it. Filterius is a photo editing app that offers a ton of neat vintage filters that can enhance the look and feel of your photos. The filters are meant to depict the 90s. It can easily be added to a photo with a simple tap. There are different effects to mess around with, and when you're done, you can export the photo and share it wherever you'd like. Now, when I first started producing YouTube videos, my YouTube channel was called How To and More. I made how-to videos about all sorts of things back before they were a thing. Well, at least there were way less how-to tutorial videos than there are now. The app Jump Rope makes it easy for you to not only discover how-to videos and tutorials, but to make your own and share them with others on the site. I understand that YouTube will provide you access to a bigger audience, but this has a small community that might be good to help you get started and discovered. The app is well developed, incorporating video with text in an easy to read and navigate UI. Check it out if you're at all interested. The last app we have for you today is called Pivot Pop, and it's a game of skill and endurance. The goal is to pop the matching colors to earn points and pops, all while avoiding the opposite colors. The controls are simple and just involve some simple taps. There are over 100 levels, so you should be entertained and challenged for a long time. Warning, this game is really freaking hard. Mendo is a new social media app of sorts that surfaces the most shared links from the people you choose to follow on Twitter. As a tech journalist, it's neat to see the most popular articles that are being shared from my peers, so I really found this app to be quite useful. With that said, you do need to be following a lot of people to get the most use out of it, and it only syncs with Twitter. The good news is if you don't want to follow some people on Twitter, you can choose to only follow people on Mendo. Photo Scanner by PhotoMine will help you restore old photographs by turning them into live digital records, which you can share with others. It uses AI technology to enhance your photos, and the free app lets you create up to 3 albums and save up to 50 scanned photos to your device. Flip Skater is a new skateboarding game where you get to perform a bunch of different tricks on a half pipe in a number of different locations. You can do some cool tricks like nose grabs, rocket airs, and front side airs. There's also a bunch of boards to collect and different characters to unlock. If you like what you see, you should download Flip Skater. Breath of Fire is a yoga and meditation app with an AR twist. Instead of practicing these forms of relaxation by yourself, the app will place a virtual instructor into your world. Basically, all you do is pick a breathing mode, place your virtual instructor, and set your phone down facing the instructor at eye level. There's a ton of meditation apps on the App Store, but I really think this is a neat take that takes advantage of the new AR features available in the newer iPhones. Visionist is one of my new favorite photo editing apps. The app uses computer vision neural networks to create original artwork based on your images. It has a similar layout to Instagram where you can swipe through and add different filters. The free version of the app includes 10 different styles, each with 3 different levels of abstraction. but you can purchase an additional 60 styles if you so desire, if you want those extra filters. Flora is a focus habit tracker that should help you put your phone down if you have that sort of problem. I certainly do. Here's how it works. Whenever you and your friends want to stay away from the distractions that are on smartphones, plant a seed together, or alone. I mean, you can use this app by yourself too. As you focus on what's more important in real life, the seed will eventually grow into a healthy tree. But if you or your friends cannot resist using your phone, the tree will actually be killed. The idea is that it creates a shared goal to help you and your friends cut back on the amount of time you spend in front of your screen. Calculator 2, the game, is the follow-up to the very successful Calculator game that racked up thousands of downloads. In this game, you use your trusty new state-of-the-art SM1K calculator and Dot, your quick-witted assistant, to track down Clicky, an adorable computer virus, and ultimately save the world. In order to advance, you will have to add, multiply, delete, reverse, convert, and turn numbers into letters. I've enjoyed dusting off my math skills and playing this game. Hopefully some of you will too. 4Eyes lets you create unique 3D photos, which you can export as GIFs and share on your social media sites. All you have to do is capture a photo, choose a focal point, and then export a GIF or video. There's definitely a little bit of a learning curve, but the app is set up to make it as easy as possible to learn and tweak your photos to get the best results. Air for Share is a super simple way to share text messages, links, and files between your iPhone and your computer. All you have to do is go to air4share.com and upload a file you want to send to your iPhone. Then on your iPhone, open up the app and you'll see those files. Now, they will only be available for 30 minutes on any other device you use in your Wi-Fi network. Also, the free version only allows for 2 file uploads at once, and they are limited to 5 megabytes. To upgrade, it's about $8 a month, which may or may not be worth it. I've just enjoyed using the free app. The last app we have for you today is an arcade game called Super Foulst. The world has been overrun by demons, and there's only one chicken that can stop them. How, you ask? By smashing into them headfirst, of course. You have to dodge bullets, squish monsters, and grab the loot. There's a bunch of stages to conquer, bosses to beat, and all sorts of gadgets and gizmos to interact with. You should have a lot of fun playing this game. I certainly have.
Piano Academy is one of the best apps I have come across that teaches you how to play piano. All you need is a piano keyboard. The app will pair you up with an instructor and teach you theory topics like notes, the staff, chords, and more. As you play, the app will listen and actually give you instant feedback. There are even games to help you learn and keep things fun. If you're eager to learn piano, you should check out Piano Academy. Shonen Jump gives you access to the most popular manga and comics straight from Japan. While you can pay $2 per month for more content and perks, what I like about this app is that you can read many of the latest series for free on the same day they come out in Japan. Some of the series include My Hero Academia, Dragon Ball Super, One Piece, and Boruto. Snake Maze is a darn simple game where you have to collect stars and complete mazes across 5 different worlds. There are over 60 mazes to play, and there are swipe-based controls to keep things simple and easy. It's a great way to pass the time if you are bored. The Clock may be very useful to you if you have a lot of meetings spanning different time zones. The app will let you easily keep track of your contacts in different time zones, and you can make events that sync up with the iOS calendar. The app supports widgets and Siri shortcuts. If you have the Mac or iPad apps, the mobile app will actually sync up with them and work across all the platforms. Chillscape is a mindfulness and meditation app with some of the most beautiful visuals I have ever seen. The app combines cognitive psychology, AI-generated music, and mesmerizing graphics to create an experience that's calming, fun, and immersive. The app uses music and visuals to help slow your heart rate, reduce blood pressure, and lower levels of stress hormones. The app starts with low-pitched tones, and as you pop bubbles, melodies play and the soundscape evolves. Lifty is a game where you have to deliver colored passengers to their corresponding colored floors. You have to move this elevator up and down, but as you progress, more passengers become antsy, and the ones that are waiting too long will explode. So you have to move pretty quick after a while. It's certainly an unusual idea for a game, but it's actually a lot of fun. Loopfield is a pretty incredible music application. The app continuously records sounds around you and automatically generates loops. So if you're walking around downtown, you can capture some really cool results. The loops are processed in real time. After you find a loop that you like, you can then export it into a larger project and do whatever you want to do with them. Deck Your Halls is a festive app with an AR twist. The app lets you add holiday characters, festive decorations, and frosty effects to any space in need of a little Christmas spirit. If you want to spruce up your holiday photos or just have some fun, check out Deck the Halls. 10.5 is a minimal to-do list app that puts your tasks and reminders at the forefront. Every time you add a reminder, it will appear at the top of the list, so they're all in a nice, timely order. There's a bunch of themes to play around with and app icons. You can add headers by adding a colon to the end of your to-dos or a space before your items to turn them into subtitles. Give 10.5 a look if you're in need of a beautiful, minimal note-taking app. Smashing Rush is an adventure game where you play as one of 23 characters, each with their own motions and shapes, to try and avoid obstacles as you try and reach the end of the level. The animations are cartoony, and the game controls are simple. You just have to jump and dash, that's it.
With that last one, those are 120 of our favorite iOS apps from 2018. We really enjoy making these app videos for you, and we sincerely hope you enjoy watching them. Please let us know which app is your favorite in a comment down below, and if you want to download any of the apps mentioned in this video, check out the links in the description. As always, I'm BoHD from PhoneDog.com. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you right back here in the next one. See ya.